title of this presentation is How You Can Amplify Your Wiki Education Programs. And we are doing this through the newsletters, right? Yeah, so I would also just like to acknowledge my partner who is not here. He was meant to do this presentation, but unfortunately, he had some issues with his transit. Yeah. So this is what we'll be going through, the overview of the Wikimedia Education newsletter. Would also talk about what kind of story can you publish. Then we'll look at the benefits of publishing in the Wiki Education newsletter. And I'll also share examples of success stories of what people had published in the past. And then I would show you where to get access to resources to support your drafting, and also external resources, like maybe you want to reach out to us, you have some issues with publishing, or you need to make some little edits or improvements to your drafts. And finally, I hope that this time for this presentation will allow us to do a demo. So the Wiki Education newsletter, what is it, and how can you leverage, or how can you leverage it for your work? So the newsletter is a periodic publication, usually sent out every month, and it focuses on sharing updates, news, resources related to education and Wikimedia programs. So this is to tell you that the EduWiki newsletter is not where you share story about your cat or your dog. So it's more about sharing stories related to education and the work that you're doing as Wikimedians. And these stories, like I said, they are centered around Wikimedia and education, and it is intended to inform other people. Because like I said, we have this programmatic loneliness, and there's a whole lot of fragmentation in the way we carry out our programs. But with the newsletter, we are able to collect stories from different EduWiki members of what they are doing in their various community. So that is why it is very useful to share your story with us through the EduWiki newsletter. And if you look at my screen, you'll see the snapshots of what our newsletter looks like once it is published. So this is for May, and it's the volume 14 of issue 5. And we received about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories. I'm here to share this with the community, but I hope to do that today. So yeah, it's more about you sharing your experience, activities, and also helping to inspire other people that are doing EduWiki programs. Now, some little facts about the EduWiki newsletter. The first edition of this newsletter was published in August 2012. That was even before I joined the education program. So it has been existing even before I got to the movement. And one thing that would also interest you is that when you publish your stories, some people feel like, who is actually reading them? So it's interesting to know that we usually receive about 600 to 700 views monthly. And with the current publication that we made, the last time I checked using page view tool, I discovered that about 858, we receive about 858 views on our EduWiki newsletter. So I feel like some of these statistics are important to inspire educators to publish more. So how do you find the EduWiki newsletter? It's very simple. You just go to meta.wikimedia.org. And if you look at my screen there, this is the main page of the meta-wiki. And what you do is you go straight to the search bar, and then you type in education newsletter, right? And once you type in that, you should have something like this pop up, right? Now, what kind of story can you share? Some of the stories you can share includes reports on your education work. It could also be about stories of collaboration that you've had. And it could be with schools, university, and even individual Wikimedians within the user group. You can also announce your upcoming event. So it's not just about writing story. If you have an event that is upcoming and you want us to, you want a publicity for it, then do well to also share in the newsletter. But please note that you have to share that with us at least a month before the event so that we can publish them timely. And it's also a good way to learn from past projects. So there are a whole lot of projects that are being carried out that is related to education. And sometimes people are inspired from the stories that you share. I've seen cases whereby the Reading Wikipedia in the Classroom program was carried out in another community as a result of the story that was shared by another education program leader by the newsletter. Now, it's also a good way to see how you are exploring Wikimedia projects as it relates to education. So let's say you don't even have any program that you are running that you want to share about, but you are inspired maybe as a result of attending this conference and you want to share your story. It's also a good place to publish in our newsletter. Now, who writes these stories? The stories do not just appear from the cloud, right? They are being written by someone. So everyone is welcome to write their story. And this can be anyone who organizes wiki education program or activities related to carrying out education as it relates to Wikimedia projects. It could also be researchers. Let's say you just publish maybe an educational policy speaking to Wikimedia programs, or maybe any other research that aligns with wiki education. It's also a place where you can publish. And Wikimedia volunteers, you don't have to be the education program leaders of your affiliates to publish in the newsletter. So anyone is welcome to publish. Also, mission-aligned organization. So let's take, for example, you collaborated with a Ministry of Education, or let's say policymakers. You had a conversation with them. They can also publish themselves in our newsletter. You don't have to write on their behalf like every time. So we feel like that way we are introducing them directly into our community. And everyone in this room is welcome to publish in our education newsletter. So who published these newsletters? If you look at the screen, you see two pictures. So the first one is Jony, who was unable to make this conference, and that's just me. Old picture. Yeah, so it's a team of volunteers working on this. We are not being paid. We work based on our individual interests on the education newsletter. So this team publishes this submission between 28th to 30th of every month. And for your article to be published, we would like that you submit them latest 25th of every month. Because that gives us enough time to edit, proofread, and also make some corrections to, like, maybe because we make use of source code sometimes, which not everybody knows how to use. So yeah, that's the team. Two people though. Yeah, so we are the ones behind publishing your newsletters. Before, we used to be four though, but other people had other commitments. So I've talked about the important dates and deadlines. So usually we send out requests for your newsletter submission between 10th to 15th of every month. And the last date for community to submit is 26th of every month. But we like that you submit within 25th. And like I said, we publish between 28th to 30th. Now, these are some handy links that you need to be aware of as someone who wants to publish in our newsletter. So the first thing is the current edition of all our newsletter can be found on, how do I do this? Can I click on like the hyperlinks? Can be found on the home page. And to look up for earlier edition by month, you can go to archives. So we have all past editions of our newsletter being archived. And to start writing, we make use of the newsroom. I'll show you some of these things when doing my demo. And for somebody who does not know how to start, we also have the publication guidelines of how to write a good newsletter post. So we have it documented, although we don't have like a short video that you can watch, but it's available in text. Now, how can I receive and read these newsletters? Remember, I said we have about 860 plus views for this month's newsletters. So usually there are different ways in which you can receive our newsletter. Although I usually share them through our mailing list, our Facebook page. We also try to see how community members can receive the newsletters directly. So what they just have to do is sign up on this page by subscribing with your email address. So once you subscribe, automatically your username would appear on this page, including the Wikimedia project icon in which you sign up with. Currently, we have about 300 plus Wikimedians who have signed up to be receiving these newsletters. So once you publish your work on or within our newsletter, automatically 300 plus people are receiving it through their user talk page, right? And like I said, I usually announce on Facebook. I try to also mention those people who had published because it also helps to increase visibility, and they have a way to like reshare or repost their newsletters. Okay, so before we go into the demo, do we have any questions? Questions? Anything? Yes.
How to make this newsletter popular among educators that are not part, for example, of our public organization? Yes, we have members of our organization who are quite active in publishing materials, but I cannot say the same about educators outside.
Yeah. Yes.
We share information about these newsletters. We ask people, please write about your experience because you have a lot to tell the world.
Yeah.
So maybe you have some, I don't know, tips, benefits
Yeah.
for educators.
Yes. So I think one way is to translate the education newsletter into your local language. And that was what we were discussing about during the breakout workshop under the outreach and engagement. So we believe that if we have this newsletter translated into your local language, then it makes it easy for external organization or external body to read about your work, right? And another way is seeing how we can, like I said, it's still in the pipeline, how we can have regional representation. So that, because I and Jony cannot do all of the work, we try our best to share. But then we feel like if we have regional representative, they can also do more to ensure that these newsletters get to not just your community, but other external organizations. And sometimes when external organizations read about your work, it further builds like their interests and credibility on what you are doing, right? Yeah, and I don't know if any other person in the room have any suggestions on ways we can. Yes, please.
You can actually publish in the original language.
Yeah.
Like I can do a newsletter in Spanish.
Yes, you can.
And I had a question, I remembered it.
Yeah.
If you can publish a multimedia sources.
Yes, you can. Yeah, sure. So that's another thing we always encourage those that are publishing. So always add at least a photo, a video, But ensure that these media files are on Wikimedia Commons, because you also need to attribute them. Yeah. How many minutes more? How many minutes? Okay, okay, cool. Yeah. I think we can go into the demo now. Can I make use of this laptop? Hmm. Yes. Sorry. Oops. Sorry. How do I go back? I need to click on this. Yeah, thank you. Ugh. How do I? Can I use my laptop? Okay. I feel like that way it's easy. Walking you through how to publish your own newsletter. And the first thing you need to do is that you need to be logged in on meta-wiki, because that's where you'll be creating your newsletter. Now, remember, I shared some handy links, right? So let me just show you what those links contain. Now, this is the main page to the newsroom where you publish your work. And as you can see, it said deadline for submission is 26th of every month. Now, the first thing you need to do is have your drafts on a Google Doc. It really do help than maybe just coming directly on the page and trying to publish, right? So it's always good to have your drafts on a Google Doc or any Word document already created with all of the necessary links and images. And you start by with a title of your article, I mean your newsletter. So can we have anybody come up with any idea? It doesn't have to be perfect. Any suggestion? Yeah, so is it about your experience or what? So we need to also be very careful with how we craft our title. Although this is not Let's Connect, but it also has to be sexy, you know. So let's say I will just try something here now. My Edu Wiki conference. Because there are different kind of, like, it's too generic when you say my EduWiki conference experience 2025. You have to be specific, right? So from the title, we need to know that you are the one, or just try to, I don't know if anybody can help us improve this title. She has given us a suggestion. What can we add to it to make it sexy? Okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do Chat GPT. I wanted to be formal. That's why, you know. Okay, the last one here. I like to be polite, so I say kindly. Oops. How do I do column? Is it this and this? This one. I don't know why it keeps. Oops. No, I want to do column. Yes, thank you. Hmm. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so which of these options should we go for? Wiki Wonder and Wow, my Edu Wiki 2025 story. From notes to knowledge, my Edu Wiki 2025 adventure. Behind the scene at no. Yeah, but we just want to pick one. My off. Okay, Edu Wiki 2025 through my eyes. I think that's. Do we all agree? Okay. Yeah. Control C, right? I hope I got it right. Yeah, so we are going to change this to EduWiki 2025 through my eyes. Story from Sub-Sahara. What do I do? Is it cool like this? I wanted to be more specific, but then if it's fine, we can. Okay. Okay, through my eyes. Yeah. Oh yes, yes. Yeah. Since I've not drafted it, we can still go back. So I'll be using a column again. I hope I get it this time. What did you press? Okay. Is it Bogota or should I say Latin America? Okay. Yeah, so once you have your title, although there's an error at the top, once you have your title, you have this page, right? Now there are two ways in which you can view this page, depending on how you set the preference on your meta-wiki user page. Now, there is a way you set it and it gives you both visual edits and source edits. Currently, you can only see source edits, but you can also use the preview option. As you can see now, I have two screens, and this is going to guide me on how I can better draft my newsletter. Okay, yeah, you just click on preview. So this preview gives you two views. So now the next thing you want to do is the first part that says article title. Remember, this is just a text, a source code text template. You need to erase it and replace it with your article title. So I'll erase everything here and I'll write, I'll repeat what I had written at the top and say EduWiki 2025 through my eyes. Ah, it's always a problem doing this. I'm not getting it. Can you help? Okay. Yes, thank you. Yes, so we have our title already. You can always refresh the page using this button here, this redirect, refresh icon. But automatically it updates itself. So once you have your title, the next thing is your username. So to update that section of your username, just remove this code here, erase it totally, leave your username, and just indicate your username. So the user for this meta page is it your what's your username? Or who has this laptop so I can use your name? Or let's just put something. Let me just put my own to make it fast. 658. And you wait to see what happens, right? Immediately I added my username. It's automatically, once I click on it, it takes me to my user page. Yes, and you can add other authors if you collaborated together. So you just put a comma, copy this, and just edit the names there. So we can replace it with our username. Does anybody care to share? Okay. I hope I get this. So if the username is correct, I think it's wrong. I didn't get it because it's showing in red. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yes, so it's correct now. Now you can add as many collaborators as possible. It doesn't have to be only you. So once you've done this, the next thing you want to do is the summary of your whole story. Remember, you need to have the draft on a Google Doc. It makes it very easy for you. So let's say we come up with a summary. And when you want to add your write-up, always remove all the source codes and replace it with the content of what you want to write. So under this summary, I can just say test, but it's not meant to be test, right? Yeah. So you have to come up with a concise summary that summarizes all of the contents that you have in that draft, right? And the summary is meant to attract readers. If your summary is catchy and sexy, a lot of people will be so interested in it. But if your summary is too flat, then it will not really attract people to read, even if they received the newsletter. Now, there's also a guide within the summary section. And this guide says, did you arrange a collaborative project? Have you involved teachers or students? So it's just a guide to help you better build or create your newsletter, right? So once you've added your summary, please kindly just delete this. So you just have to erase it out. So the next thing you want to do is add a media file. And to get your media file, you go to Commons. Let me see if we can find something here. Wikimedia Commons. Let me see. EduWiki 2025. I see we only have slides. Okay, cool. So let me just pick this picture, this particular one. Let's connect at EduWiki. Yeah. So we are going to use this, and I'll just copy the file name at the top. Control C. I'll go back to my newsletter, replace this code with the link I just copied, right? So let's see what, okay, oops. I think something is wrong here with the code. File, okay, do I need to add file? Okay. Oops. Why? Okay, so let's see what will happen. Yeah, so as you can see, the image is there. You can also add a caption to your image, and to do that, you always erase all those templates and replace it. So I'll just add text, but remember your caption needs to describe the image that you've added. Now, very important, please always try to add links to your social media page, because we would like to repost and reshare your work on our Facebook page, most especially. When you add your social media page, it allows us the opportunity to easily like tag you or mention you when we are sharing the newsletter. And so for this hashtag, you can add an hashtag. Let's say EduWiki 2025. And then remember, always follow with your social media handle. So to add your social media handle, you could just add it beneath the hashtag. Sometimes you don't even need to have any hashtag. It's not compulsory. So to add your social media, just there are different ways to do that. Oh, I have 3 minutes. Yeah, so you can just add your social media handle by adding this URL to your social media handle, and would help you like update it. So your newsletter doesn't have to be perfect. So that's the first thing. Don't wait till you have a perfect draft. We are there to help you improve your drafts and make it align with the formats that we have already. So just quickly, I would just like to complete this test. I will not publish. Now, for your description, this is where you need to write a full story of your whole news, right? So within this space that I'm writing tests, you can write everything about your newsletter. Now, please, also something that can help you is to look at existing newsletters. You can go there, click on it, try to edit, and you will see how they have drafted it, and you can just adapt that as well. So those are different ways in which you can draft your newsletter. Write your full article above this line. So it's telling you that you need to write within this text area. And once you are done, what you just need to do is erase this, right? So it's going to be like this. And then for this category, sorry, I just break a link. Control Z. Oops, Control Z. Yeah. So you just need to write within this space, and then for categories, education newsletters, you just leave that for us. We'll be the ones to fill up those space. So once you are done, you don't need to change anything. Just ensure that you have all of your stories, and then you publish here. So I'll just say test drafts, and show preview. So when you are done, this is how your newsletter would look like with all of your details, right? I've exhausted my time. So I don't know if you have questions, comments, feedback, or any other thing, recommendation. Yeah. Okay. You get tired, right? Okay. Yeah. Yes, so that's why we are having regional representation and seeing how you can just submit your newsletter through maybe a Google form, and we help you publish directly. I think that's also a good one. Also thinking of how you can maybe do your newsletter in form of like a video. You don't need to be writing all the time, right? So yeah, thank you. I need to leave now. Yes. Yes, you wanted to ask. We can.
How do you pick which newsletter go to the front page and are like prioritized?
So all newsletters go to the headline. Yeah, we prioritize all newsletters are submitted. Yeah.
But if via mail, there's like a preview.
Yes,
And
yes.
like some highlights.
Yes, we do. We do. I don't know if you are on our mailing list, you should be seeing some of those stuff. Are you subscribed to the EduWiki mailing list?
Yeah, I will. I haven't.
Okay, you haven't. Yeah, I can share with you the links. Yeah, I will share on the Telegram. Yeah, that's a good way. Thank you so much and take care. Thank you.